Okay, I'm going to show you how to replace a burnt out brake light. Not the turn signal, but the brake light, the big bottom one. This is going to take, I've already done it, so I'm going backwards, but this is going to take 2-3 minutes tops. Come inside your trunk. You have this clip, and you're going to see your carpet strip. Pull it out from under the weather stripping. You can gently pull this clip out. I don't know if you guys can see. Use my right hand. Used for one of those trunk carrier things. You can pull it out just like that. You can bend and break it, but frankly mine has still worked after doing this about 4 times, so I'm not going to go replace it. You can replace these little clips. You can get the ones with the hooks. You can get them without. Just probably from the dealership. It's where I've gotten my last one that I replaced. It wasn't very expensive. What we're going to see in here is an electrical junction. Don't want to mess with that. We're just going to get it out of the way. And you're going to see a couple of posts underneath your electrical junctions. This one has clippings, so it kind of ratchets off. Everything so far is going to be pretty much... Alright, so that one just comes off. If you can't get it undone with your hands to the screw, then use a wrench. I tried using a socket wrench, but you're going to see here in a second that the socket, the post that the bolt is too long. So I just used a handy dandy wrench. And adjust out. Tighten it up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. There we go. Until I can get it to my... There we go. Easy. I'm going to get that whole thing off. Be sure and put this washer-nut combination someplace safe. Almost lost it down the trunk. Fortunately, the last time I lost something down into the carpet, yeah, all I did was move the carpet out of the way. One of those benefits of having this thing off, I guess. And back to the... Okay, so here's what this little guy comes off, and I'm going to show you how I ended up having to take it off, because it does have some tightening devices, just little simple slits that are put on here. So let me put it back on and show you how I ended up prying the thing off. First time I took it off, I was able to take it off with my hands, but as you can see, it doesn't seem to want to go. All I did was take my wrench, and I used leverage against the housing of the car itself, and pulled it off. Ta-da! So, once you get both of these undone, again, remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and you really just need that wrench on some of the spots. You don't want to do it the whole time. Don't need it that tight. Remember to put it someplace safe. I just stick them in the trunk. Keep it next to my tools. I know where they are. Okay, next thing to happen is you can see as I push on this, I don't know if you can see that, it starts to move. So you can see that the housing is going to come off actually from the outside. Be gentle with it because you have 2 plastic stems here that you don't want to break off. You don't want to have to replace this whole thing. You're just out here to replace a light bulb. Pick it up ever so slightly. Bend it back. And remember, we're replacing that bottom bulb down here. So we've got a top bulb for the flasher, turn signal, and we've got the bottom bulb for the brake. Looking at it, again, lefty-loosey, pull it up, be gentle because there's a light bulb down in here that you're trying to get out. You don't want to break it. And you're going to be able to see there's tabs and slots. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but there's a bigger one and 3 little ones. So you need to line those up. See the big one and 2 little ones when you go back in. You literally just pull this bulb out of its casing. I'm going to try this since it's brand new. I just put it in. And since I don't want to mess with it, literally what I did is I took my wrench and I tightened it up around the black casing until it was tight, and then I just gently wiggled it out on both sides. There may be another way. I noticed there's some tabs in there, but frankly it's electrical and I don't want to stick a metal tab down there. So I just worked it out slowly with the wrench. I used lubricating grease just on these metal parts right here on both sides to help with conductivity, because this is the second bulb I've placed out here. To put it back in, you want to line up your lines with your slots, tab A into slot B, or just kind of figure it out. There it goes. Righty-tighty. Ta-da! Now we're going to put it back together. You want to line up those two plastic posts, you see them, and your metal bolts into the curve. Okay, so the way to go with the one hand is to make sure you get that bottom bolt lined up first on the inside, you see it? And then go for the top. Once you get those bolts lined up, the thing just kind of slides in. So the bolt is actually down in there. I don't think you can see it. There it is. That bolt right down in there. And then, as you line the bolts up, the plastic tabs go in pretty quick. And then from the inside, again, simple hand tightening. Be sure and put counter pressure on the outside of this casing. You get this snugged up as tight as you can. You want to do that for weatherproofing purposes and also just for vibration and jiggling things. Down here, don't lose the screw like I did. Don't lose the bolt, rather, with the built-in washer. Look at that. Washer, nut, bolt assembly. And then we put this back in place. One quick push. Line that one up at the top. And then you just put your carpet back underneath the weather stripping. Line up your plastic piece, give that a shove until it clicks, just like that. And then just simply run your finger under the carpet and the weather stripping, and voila, you are done. And this is I called it lubricating grease. It's actually, what do they call it? Spark plug electrical connector dielectric grease. Dielectric grease. There it is. Costs $1.19 plus tax as of 2010, October of 2010. And this little long life bulb. By the way, these are the brake light bulb numbers, 3157. The turn signal bulbs are, I think, 3155, Sylvania. Long life, come in a packet of 2. They were $5.90, I believe, for 2 of these little bad boys. And $5.99 to be specific. So I have one for later in case my other brake light goes out. I'm not changing my other brake light now, which is actually recommended only because this is the second time I've replaced this particular bulb in the last 5.5 years. So, second brake light in 5.5 years, only on the left side. That's why I went with the dielectric grease, just in case there's a connector problem in there. That'll help prevent that. And if the other bulb goes out, I'm ready with the other bulb.